Yeah, I mean, it's not really an official title. We've never really had an official title for our assistant coaches. But given that Ron won't always travel, I just think it's appropriate to give Jaron more responsibility on that side of the ball.
Are you leaving it up to Ron when he wants to
Yeah.
travel?
Yeah.
So just, hey, this road trip's starting in 2 days.
Yeah.
You want to come?
Yeah, Ron has earned the right to kind of carve his own path, and I want him to feel a part of it. I also want him to not feel like he has to travel on certain trips. My guess is he'll go to Miami and LA, and he won't go to the Midwest in the winter. But we'll see. But no, I think it's going to be just up to him. And you guys know the drill. I mean, once the season starts, it's kind of game every other day, and so there's less practice time and more travel days. And I just want him to be in a comfortable role where he's still making a big impact with our staff, but also able to take more time and make a more comfortable role for himself.
In past years, you've had a lot of get what you need.
Let's move on to basketball.
So you said that yesterday, you said something to the effect that D'Angelo is going to be his project. You're going to talk to him more because you didn't talk to him throughout the season, throughout the off season. How has it been your first day?
Oh, great. I mean, D'Angelo is really easy to talk with. He's a very engaging guy. I've talked to Luke Walton quite a bit about him since Luke had him in LA, and we have that connection. And I think it's really helpful for D'Angelo to have played for Luke because a lot of the stuff we do in practice is very similar. So he said it felt like second nature to him to go through what we did today.
You're talking just like practice drills and stuff?
Yeah, practice drills, some of the offensive stuff, some similarities, and obviously it's just the first day, but he was very comfortable out there.
How do you see him? There's been a lot of talk obviously about him as a pick and roll guy for you, but how about him maybe fitting in some of the stuff you like, the off-ball motion, different things?
Yeah, I think he'll be good off the ball. He's a clever passer, a clever basketball player, so he understands how to come off a pin down without the ball. And then once he gets in traffic in the paint, he understands how to create either a shot or get the ball back out to somebody who is not covered, and that's a big deal. So I'm really confident he'll be able to play with and without the ball for us.
How different do you expect things to be this season with Ron shooting the ball? Do you expect that affect things on a day-to-day basis or at all?
Well, Ron is still going to play a big role with our staff. I think maybe the bigger change is Jaron Collins taking on more responsibility in a defensive coordinator role. So Ron will help in all aspects, and we'll lean on Ron for his defensive acumen and player development. But Jaron is taking on a bigger role, which I think is great for our team and for Jaron. So, but Ron's still a big part of everything.
Are you anticipating longer practices and more often with this younger group?
For sure, early on. I mean, we just practiced for 2.5 hours. We never did that last year for good reason. We came back with pretty much the entire roster intact, and the new players picked everything up quickly, and we got right into the season. So this is different. We're having to stop and teach, and more stops and starts, more instruction, more whys and hows, and so the first part of camp will be especially, I think, more detailed. And then once we get settled and we get into a groove, I think practices will start to get shorter and more efficient.
Steph's obviously couldn't be more familiar or acclimated with Clay. What's that acclimation process like with him and D'Angelo, and how much does a little thing like shooting?
I think mainly it's just getting to know each other better on a personal level, and then as they play together, they'll feel more and more comfortable with each other's tendencies. So it'll happen quickly. You know, they're both basketball players. They both understand the game. They both enjoy playing, you know, with teammates who can score. And there's less responsibility and more of an ability to rely on each other, and I think that's a good thing.
How much of that meshing in the backcourt when you played, how much did that matter? How you worked off it?
It's always mattered, you know. I mean, that's the beauty of the sport to me. 5 guys have to be working in concert or it's not going to work.
Do the practices feel different given all the turnover, all the changes, or is it still because you have that core?
No, they feel different. Practices feel different. Number one, because we're in a different building, but number two, because of all the personnel change. So we're all just kind of getting comfortable in our surroundings and getting to know each other.
It's still not easy to take on a large role. What do you see in his temperaments that makes this a good fit? His willingness to do work.
And D'Angelo's temperament, he's a very calm, poised person. You know, he doesn't seem to get too high or low. He enjoys playing, and you know, only had one day of practice with him, so we'll get to know each other better as we go along.
We mentioned that kind of what's changing on the top half of your staff. How about the bottom half? I mean, I know you added something kind of priority this year. What's going on down there?
Well, I think you know, part of the focus this year is added player development personnel, and we're actually closer in proximity to Santa Cruz here in San Francisco. So we've added a spot, another two-way coach, Seth Cooper, who's going to be working camp and will spend most of his time in Santa Cruz. And I imagine we'll have several guys going back and forth between here and Santa Cruz. So I think the Santa Cruz connection with Chris Weems running the team down there and Aaron here, I think it just ties the two franchises together more, and we've got extra bodies and more young players who need the work this year. So Chris DeMarco is really doing a great job of kind of putting together a program along with Rick Celebrini, where it's basketball, it's strength training, it's nutrition. We're trying to develop not just the player, but the professional, and get these guys to understand their best chance for success.
Is there a challenge in getting the younger guys as much practice as they need and the veterans as much rest as they need, and how do you look to manage that?
You mean in camp or?
Just in general practices, like 2.5 hour practice, for instance.
Yeah.
You know, how do you get them as much intense instruction while also getting the rest?
Well, the difference this year is probably an extra hour on the court from last year. We probably went an hour and a half last year because everybody knew what we were doing. So we're spending more time on the court. The young guys are all eager and willing to learn, and so really the burden is more on the older players and their willingness to be patient as we work with these young guys. And I think as we go, and as Steph, Draymond, Loon in particular, as those guys feel more in condition and in shape and ready to play a game, they won't work as much. I'll probably take them out of some drills, maybe even you know, call it a day for after half of practice for them. And you know, they've earned it. They've played 5 straight years of 100+ games. So, but for now, it's training camp. It's easy to just run through everything because these guys are all in. He's just got a great way about him. He's smart. He's got a really good way of communicating with players and with fellow coaches, and he was a natural fit as a replacement for Aaron, and so I'm excited to have Chris on board.
What sort of specific things did
Zaza? He was up in the office somewhere. I don't know what the hell Zaza did today. I got to go ask him. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.